Johnson swings it back out. Oh, nice long rebound grabbed in there by Mark Blunt.
Yeah, Mark Blunt really has done a nice job for the Boston Celtics. Actually led the team in block shots the most since Kevin McHale, if you want to throw a name out from the past. But Blunt is, again, one of those players. He's very active. He's physical, but he can get out and move, which gives him a great advantage to anticipate missed shots and get on the offensive glass.
Foul there was on A.J. Bramlett. Palacio comes to the ball, pulls up at the free throw line, and knocks it down.
Yeah, Neil Palacio, they really like what he's done, John. He's a steady player. He's a physical defender and a smart player on offense. He'll look to penetrate, dish, and he can make that open shot.
Celtics with some pressure there. Andre Reese tries to take it strong and gets fouled. A little bit of a late whistle, and the Celtics crowd letting them know about it.
Yeah, Celtics crowd, they're really excited about this group of young players here. They like the way they play, the energy they bring to the table. Certainly that call, as you said, John, just a little bit late.
It's like he and his whistle didn't work for a while. Had to rattle it around.
Well, as we've talked about assistant coaches getting a shot. We've talked about young spectators able a chance to rub elbows with potential NBA players and high draft picks. Well, we also have officials here, John, that are trying to make their mark and get into the NBA. Michael Henderson, a former pretty good basketball player I had an opportunity to play against. You have an official from Lithuania, Berjauskas, and Jose Carrion from Puerto Rico. So we have quite a crew here for this game.
Only a Lithuanian would go right at that name without any hesitation.
You want to hear it again, don't you? Berjauskas. You like that?
Bramlett committing the foul, that one.
Actually, I called Arvydas Sabonis to get a correct pronunciation on that.
Here's a look who's on the floor as David Vanterpool has just come out of St. Bonaventure, has some NBA time as well. And of course, number 5, Kwame Brown. We will say it many times tonight, regardless. Doug Collins is looking on, saying, all right, what do we have exactly in this number 1 draft pick? And Brian James says that at this point, he's a little raw.
Yeah, he definitely is. Obviously, you have to remember, you're looking at a player in high school, John. How many players his size is he competing against on a regular level? But he does have a tremendous work ethic. He really goes at it. And if anybody's going to make him work hard, it's going to be Doug Collins. He will push regardless of the situation, regardless of the player. He will get the most out of Kwame Brown. And they felt that he was going to be able to come in and do exactly what they anticipate him doing because of that.
Celtics with some good pressure on the basketball. Vanterpool with it now.
A big advantage for the Celtics in this game, John. They have a lot of guys with NBA experience as well as having the high draft picks.
The guys have got some decent minutes as well. There's Kwame Brown, and that's what you're talking about at 6'11", able to face up and make that shot.
And something you hear about quite a bit today that you need to have a mid-range game. They're saying Brian James before the game today said that he does have that mid-range game to go along with that long-range jump shot.
First field goal for Washington. 1 of 9 from the field. Bring the ball down low, and the small hands will reach down and grab it. You get a jump shot situation. Jerome Moiso, you remember him out of UCLA, had good post position, but brought the ball down to the small guys.
And then with the zone rules now, you have to be even more careful because everybody collapsing. There's Kwame Brown showing that nice soft touch from the foul line. You can see Mark Blunt not really giving the youngster a lot of respect, basically saying, hey, big fella, you make a couple of those before I'm going to come out there and play you.
So this is not the high school gymnasium. Well, not much bigger than probably what he played in. Here in what they call the Little East, UMass Boston.
See some ugly shooting percentages right now. Washington just 1 of 9. Of course, again, you're going to see a lot of that. Conditioning, pressure, adjusting to new teammates. That's going to be a factor in these games to make them a little less than pretty.
Palacio pulls up just outside the arc. Can't get it to go. Bramlett with the rebound. Vanterpool now with it. Little stutter step. Joe Crispin out of Penn State. Kwame Brown again launches the jumper and again knocks it in. And yes, they might start thinking about extending that defense.
Well, Blunt came out a little bit, John, but you see that little push, a little jab to back him up, and Conley knocking down that jumper. Again, showing a little bit of confidence. Watch this here again. Blunt comes up a little closer, a little jab, straight up with the jump shot.
A nice little start here by Kwame Brown.
Best high school player, again, top pick coming into the NBA. Skills to work on. He has to prove he's worthy of being a #1 pick. How are you going to do that? Live up to your potential. Work as hard as you can. He has the perimeter game. You're going to have to work on your strength to develop that inside game to complement. Now you're playing against the big boys, so you can't take it easy. You really have to get in the weight room and get strong.
We're reminded we are in New England as Khalid El-Amin comes onto the floor, and the former UConn star gets a nice round of applause. Bramlett takes it up with a little rainbow and knocks it down.
Yeah, Bramlett, again, not a true post-up player, but has good size and a soft touch. Yeah, Khalid El-Amin, you talk to anybody, and the one thing that keeps coming up about him, John, is that he can flat out play. Jimmy O'Brien said the same thing. They can flat out play. The key is, can he play at this level consistently on offense? And, of course, defensively, is being 5'10", going to hinder him in this league. Can he handle the defense? Now, with zones, he might get a little bit more help.
His decision-making, which was so good in college as well, when you watched him in the pros, he never seemed like he had that same amount of confidence that he did at UConn.
Look at that number, John. Look at that number. All the moms out there think it's only their kids that have trouble with the laundry. Even NBA players have trouble with the laundry.
The iron was too hot.
Let me tell you a little bit about Skip to My Lou. Skip to My Lou, his real name is Rafer Alston. Out of Jamaica, Queens. Soft as medicated cotton. Tender as a mother's prayer. Cold as a pimp's heart. He's all those things. And got a twin sister, too. What you would like to do with his twin sister, he does with the ball. He makes love to it. He caresses it. He swarms it inside. It's a symbiotic relationship, baby. That's what the ball is to Skip to My Lou.
You mean he make love to the ball and don't call the next day? 'Cause that's what I do.
Ooh,
Nice shot. Buffalo wings, a buck each.
a buck a wing. Woo, how much for the whole buffalo?
You know something better for $1?
How about a 20-minute phone call?
Really?
Sure, dial 10-10-220 and all calls up to 20 minutes, only 99 cents.
And just 7 cents a minute after 20.
10-10-220 is cheap. Hey, the wings are on me.
Hey, man, quit blocking the play.
Sorry, dude, it's my job.
Hey,
Dial 10-10-220.
You practice
hey
out
man,
there.
you're big leaguing me now.
Catfish. What a great arm. Who is that kid anyway?
Of course he's got a great arm, Buttermaker. He's the best athlete in the area. But you don't understand. That's Kelly Leak.
You guys talking about Kelly Leak?
Yeah.
That dude is a bad mother. Talking about a loan shark. I borrowed a nickel from him last week. He said if I can give him a dime by Friday, he'd break my arm.
That's so bandido.
Baseball tonight, every night at 10 and midnight on ESPN.
Welcome back, everyone. 10-9 so far. I'm joined right now by NBA veteran official Steve Javie. Steve, with the new rules, does it make it easier for you guys in your profession?
I think we're going to see it. It's going to be easier for us as officials this coming season. The illegal defensive violation in the past has been a very difficult one for fans and for everybody to understand, even referees. Now we have a defensive 3-second call, which I think is going to be easier for us. And we're seeing a lot more movement here also, a wide open lane and all that. So I think it's going to work out pretty well.
Your role here, how much mentoring and teaching goes on between you and the officials on the floor tonight?
I'd say probably 10 to 12 hours a day, Mark, because we have classroom sessions. We do the games with them. And then also we go into a tape session after the games to evaluate themselves.
And when do the veteran officials get a chance to actually implement the new rules and feel yourselves out and how you relate to the new regulations?
Probably, Mark, not till preseason. We'll have a veterans camp at the end of September, and then we go to our preseason games and try out the rules then for us.
The most popular of the violations so far seems to be the defensive 3 seconds. Why do you think that is?
Well, I think the teams and the officials just feeling each other out with the new rule, and sometimes it's at the forefront of our minds. This is a point of emphasis right now, so you're going to probably see more of it right now.
In your experience so far in the summer leagues, have you seen the 8-second violation called as much?
I haven't seen it much before. We're seeing it now with a little bit of pressure. 8 seconds is not a lot of time to bring the ball up court. So I think you're going to see quite a few this year.
These simplified rules can prolong your career, Steve, huh?
I hope so.
All right, guys, back to you.
And, John, not only prolong the careers of officials, but make it easier for fans to watch a game. Now, how many times have we sat and watched a game? Illegal defense is called. Nobody knows in the audience what's going on. The court is filled with imaginary lines. Those are no longer a factor. Now, all you have to do is understand someone's in the lane hanging out too long away from their man. Makes it a lot easier to comprehend for everybody.
Good point. Kwame Brown showing long arms as well and getting in there and breaking that play up. The hands in the passing lanes. Mike Smith, the 35th pick overall last year. And we're still having some problems offensively, although Khalid El-Amin showing a great burst of speed at the end. Bramlett chases down the ball. Gets it back from Vanderpool. Kwame Brown lets fly again, this time a little long.
Nice rebound there by Blunt, really getting a body and getting up high. One thing to block out, the second part is going after the ball. John, we saw that layup by Khalid El-Amin, the ability to use his body and take the angle away from the defensive player. Regardless of your size, if you can do that, you can be effective. That's a pretty good move there. Just couldn't finish for Moiso.
Jerome Moiso really showing a terrific little duck under there. Crispin drops it back, but it was a tough pass to handle. Kwame Brown got in there. Crispin for three, which is where he earned his living playing at Penn State. Just could knock that down with regularity. Blunt loses the handle. Vanderpool comes up with a steal. Oh, and a terrific finish by Mike Smith.
And Mike Smith on the injured reserve all last season, able to get down. Nice job of getting up.
He averaged 3 points, and it's a little more than a rebound last year, but as you mentioned, spent most of it injured. And Kedrick Brown again showing the athletic skills after the catch.
Now watch the angles right here. Going for the ball with the wrong arm, Kwame Brown, but able to get the basketball because of his long arms. So playing the angles offensively as well right here. You see Khalid El-Amin using his body, taking it right at Joe Crispin, taking his angle away from possibly making a play. That's what it's all about, John. If you do things the proper way, use your body, it makes the game a lot easier.
You don't think that Celtic fans are in tune to what's going on with their team? Joseph Forte just got up off the bench, has not played a game as a member of the Boston Celtics, and yet, off the bench, already the cheers.
Well, John, think about the old Celtic days, the way they move the basketball, spread the ball around, share it, take the good shots. Does Joe Forte fit that bill of the old Celtic tradition? Absolutely.
El-Amin squares up for a three off the front iron. Bramlett with a strong rebound. Vanderpool with a quick push. Back out to Crispin, who again lines up a three, rattles halfway down and out.
Quick shot right there. No rebounders in position, so you better hope that shot goes down.
Well, if he's going to play in the league, Joe Crispin is going to have to make the three-point shot, as he did in college, but obviously the arc's out a little further. It's tougher to make a living out there as a pro.
Absolutely, and you have to remember from where he's shooting the ball as well, John. Those are long rebounds providing transition opportunities for the other team.
Final 5 seconds of the first quarter. Vanderpool. Oh, it's a little lucky. That's it. I won't call the finish lucky, but I will call the foul call with 2 seconds left a little lucky because he's just out of control.
Big step right here. There's the grab, and there's the soft touch. John Carroll didn't really like that idea of fouling on a shot like that. Trying to calm his guys down. Hey, you just can't foul a shooter, even if it's a bad shot.
Kwame Brown goes to the bench for the final couple of ticks of the first quarter of play in the NBA Summer League. And the quarter comes to an end. The Celtics and the Wizards all tied up at 15 apiece, and if the youngster was a little nervous, you didn't know it. Knocking down the jump shot, played defensively as well. Kwame Brown, youngster, welcome to the Bigs.
It was Game 4 of the 1987 Finals. L.A. trailed Boston by a point. With 5 seconds to go, he hit the game winner with a skyhook. After the game, one Boston player said, "You expect to lose on a skyhook. You just don't expect it from Magic Johnson."
Nothing beats an original. Original Coors. Brewed with Rocky Mountain water.
Original Coors. It's worth a shot.
Yes. Swish. This is a toe, this is a foot. That's the difference between Lamisil AT spray pump and Lotrimin AF. Lotrimin AF products are indicated to treat athlete's foot on the whole foot. This is only indicated to treat between the toes, so kill athlete's foot on the whole foot with Lotrimin AF.
Hurl things at your enemies. Hurl your enemies at your enemies. Super Mario Advance. Only for Game Boy Advance. 4 players, 1 game pack. Rated E.
Comes in handy, huh?
It's a lifesaver.
We're looking for a new VP of our Northeast operations. Stop by my office later.
Hey, Kevin, aren't you the VP of Northeast Operations?
Imagine what the Journal could do for you. Get 8 weeks of the Journal for just 38 cents a day, a 50% savings. Call 800-535-7600. That's 800-535-7600.
Welcome back to NBA Summer Hoops here on ESPN. The Washington Wizards and the Boston Celtics. It's all about teaching. It's all about opportunity. Preparing yourself to either get back in the league, to come in the league for the first time, or to hone your skills for your second, third, or whatever year.
Yeah, this really is a great opportunity for veteran players. Just let it all hang out. Come in here, work on your skills, try to play good basketball. And just, again, I think you just got to come out here with the right attitude of having fun. Jimmy O'Brien, what a tough position. John, last year taking over for Rick Pitino, did a great job. How did he do it? He simplified the game. Right now,
what's he looking at?
Too happy right now, but he really made it simpler for his team. Cut back on the intricate defensive schemes, simplified the offense as well, basically saying, hey, Paul Pierce, Antoine Walker, you guys are our players. We're going to go to you, and that's the way the offense is going to be focused. And right now, he's excited about having other options so they can have spacing on the floor and give those guys the room they need to do what they have to do.
Elamine to Joseph Forte. Puts the ball on the floor, and again, we've got that illegal defense. Someone moved away from their man. That's an automatic technical foul. Moved away from him in the lane. It's almost, I mean, for lack of a better term, it's a defensive 3-second call.
Exactly. And you actually have two players there, Ben Easy and Garth Joseph. Both of them hanging around in the lane. And it's hard to lose Garth Joseph. That's right. There you have Ben Easy right in the middle lane, number 42, nowhere near his man. And that's where he gets the call. Garth Joseph actually was, with his long arms, Garth Joseph could actually be anywhere in the court and be near his man if he's an arm's length away.
Elamine with a strong move and dumps it down to Forte. Doesn't finish, but the putback by Blunt.
That's that activity by Blunt, constantly moving, getting to the open spots. And Forte, you don't see him miss too many of those.
Forte trying to trap. Celtics stepping up again. Do force the turnover. Let's wave it off and send it the other way. As you see, Chris Clack. You mentioned the more svelte.
That's right.
Leaner.
Looks good. They're really impressed with what he's done with his body to make the NBA right now.
Mark.
John, you really have to be careful with this press by the Celtics, where you pick up the ball, where you dribble the ball to. We saw Joe Crispin make a mistake earlier. You don't want to get trapped in the lines at center court.
Vanderpool beats the pressure of Clack. Garth Joseph, and that's, we're talking about one of the big bodies in the NBA the last couple of years that he did get. He played barely 4 or 5 games. Oh.
Nice move again. This time Joseph Forte is going to get a trip to the free throw line. Ben Easy showing his leaping ability. A little contact with the body down low, but boy, did he get up quick.
We talked about Garth Joseph. He came out of a small community college and wound up with the Toronto Raptors and really never got much of a chance. He was a project and then was part of a trade at the trading deadline. And he's a guy who is a project, but he is athletic. He is huge.
He is huge. His hands. You shake hands with Garth Joseph, say goodbye to your hand. But you talk about a gentle giant. He is one of the most pleasant individuals you could ever want to be around.
Has not been playing basketball more than 4 or 5 years.
And I would not want him to see him angry either. No. I'm happy he's a gentle giant. He gets angry. Watch him.
Crispin now trying to beat the pressure. Head to Vanderpool. Trying to dribble out again. As the Celtics continue to put a lot of pressure on the basketball. Shot clock at 3, and it's just turned over.
Beautiful move.
Showtime underneath by Joe Johnson. That's what they saw out of Arkansas.
And head up the whole way up the court, Johnny. He'll dribble right hand, left hand. Very good in the open court. Very comfortable with the basketball.
Gets into what? Blunt says, forget it. But I started to say, Johnson looks like he'd fit in nicely with guys like Antoine Walker, Paul Pierce.
Exactly, because he understands the game, Johnny. Knows where his offense comes from. A little emphasis.
These
with
guys,
the block shot.
they're just here for fun, right? Nobody's really taking this.
Well, John, if you look at the Boston Celtics now, this is a team with players that can play several positions on the floor. So the versatility, what a benefit on defense. These guys can play physical. They can get up and crowd you. They can use their size to be physical with you. This is going to be much more of a different look Celtic team this coming season.
Now, Mike Martisic is not a small guy on the floor, 59 for the Celtics. Garth Joseph Forte finishes, absolutely moved him 6 or 7 feet with one hand. Like I'm saying, Martisic is not a small guy.
Well, we talk about one hand. How about sleight of hand? Khalid El-Amin doing a great job coming down the middle. A great bounce pass to Joseph Forte. You have players running the wings and a good man to distribute in the middle.
This is an 8-0 run. Remember, we were tied at 15 apiece, so this is the largest lead of the game.
Khalid El-Amin doing a great job, John, in this game. See, he's a leader and a distributor. That was his forte in college. Now he has to show, can he lead in the NBA? Can he continue to distribute? And again, can he compensate for being 5'10" and play defense at this level in the NBA?
So Crispin calling the timeout for the Wizards as this one starting to slip away. The Celtics and Khalid El-Amin up 8. NBA Summer Hoops continue.
Yeah. This is the And One Mixtape Tour 2001. Let's have some fun today.
I tell you this, no I in team, but there is an I in I smoke Joe.
Of the universe. Why have you come here? A stranger appears. Rise when your master enters. We underestimate the spaceman. A leader is chosen. They all want to see this human who defies the apes. A revolution begins. We can win this. I will hunt him down myself. Here they come. Planet of the Apes. Rated PG-13. July 27th, only in theaters.
Hey, Rhonda! It's me, Anthony! You want to get together later? The doctor said it's not contagious.
Oh, girl. Now, Sprite.com makes it easier to buy just about anything you want. Under every cap is a free Sprite or Rocket Cash. Online money you can use through Sprite.com. Drink Sprite, get Rocket Cash. Buy what you want.
Khalid El-Amin, second-round draft pick of the Bulls last year. We've been following him all week long. We call it summer balling. Here's a look.
You know what? Forgot my shoes.
Need your shoes, right, Leo?
It helps.
All right, we're ready now.
Look. Couple UConn fans, I guess.
Yeah, he's in the right part of the country as well. Now, what about here?
A
little debt?
I got it yesterday.
He played almost the entire year last year with the Chicago Bulls. He's got to have $10 somewhere.
Well, John, I got to tell you, per diem in the NBA, $84, only $46 in Summer League. So you can understand not being able to pay up a debt of $10.
46, that's pretty good.
What we're getting.
Yeah, we don't have to go out there and sweat. We just get to sit here and watch and enjoy. Now, again, we talked about that he probably should have come back to UConn for his senior season. I think it would have made a difference. You get dropped down to a #2 pick in the second round, and as a result, you have nothing guaranteed. That's why Bulls last year, Celtics this year.
Yeah, it's a tough situation, but again, being from UConn certainly is going to work in his favor in terms of fans knowing who he is, coming out to see him play. And he's been playing good basketball, John. Now, keep in mind, size is less of a factor in Summer League play than it becomes during the regular season.
El-Amin obviously knew we were running that package on him and said, you know what, guys, I want to show you at the front end what I can do. And as well, reach in, strips the ball.
take it down now. Watch the way, I don't know if we're going to catch it, but he looks over at John Saunders and says, hey, I can play in this league. Here, sticks his tongue out at him and says, don't you think I can't do it.
Hey, we watched him with the Bulls some last year. He didn't get as much an opportunity. He spent a lot of time on the bench after spending maybe 2 or 3 weeks as a starter.
Did play in a rookie all-star game.
Yeah, he did. Let's check in with Mark Jones, who's standing by with a proud mama.
Yeah, John and Leo, arguably the proudest mother in the building in the Clark Center tonight. Joyce Brown, Kwame's mother. Joyce, what went into your thinking when he decided to go into the NBA? Did you want him to go to college? Did you want him to go to pro?
I can't really say because I thought he was going to pick college. I wasn't sure, but like I tell everybody, I give God all the glory because of the fact that I was seeing some visas recently. And thank God for Greater Works, Pastor Mark Baker and Pastor Jeffrey Murchison, and all the Greater Works family. We teach faith in them, and we really have a lot of things going on in that church. So when I started seeing the premonitions of what's going to happen, I knew what he was going to choose all the time.
Kevin Garnett, when he came out of high school, brought a lot of his support system up to Minneapolis with him. Do you plan on making a move up to Washington, D.C. and spending a lot of time with Kwame up there?
I'm not going to say because I have a lot of things to iron out first. So right now, I will be going up there just to make sure everything is straightened out with him and stuff like that.
You were relating to me just a few moments ago your first experience with Michael Jordan. What was it like meeting him?
A lot of fun because I have 7 boys, and I told him he reminded me of one of my brothers. And he laughed like that because, like I said, I do see the resemblance. And this draft is really a miracle, and it's all coming to pass for what I have been seeing. So I'm excited about it.
All right, Joyce, good to see you. Thank you for the interview. And boy, you've really raised a very poised son beyond his years.
Thank you.
All right.
All that good.
All right, guys, back to you.
Well, Jonesy, it seems like she's already been through the NBA's classes on how to handle the media. She knows all about the situation. She handled Mark real well, handled Michael Jordan real well.
Although one problem, could be more media and scouts going to her house, and one of her sons also reminds her of Michael Jordan, John. You know what that could mean?
Yes, I do.
Another Brown in the NBA.
Shelby Clark onto the floor for Washington, wearing number 35. Players actually being shuttled in a lot. You'll see a lot of changes, although they like to let some of the kids play, especially in the early games in the summer leagues. Like this, it really doesn't accomplish a heck of a lot. If you're shuttling people in too much and not giving people minutes, it's not really going to give them a chance to showcase themselves. But at the same time, everybody who's here, you want to give them a chance.
Exactly, John. And what you're going to see in summer league games, if you come out to watch games, or you watch them on TV, you may see the Celtics play or another team play one night, and the next night see an entirely different group of players come out and play because they want to give the minutes, they want to spread out, they want to give different looks, different people, different combinations, and see exactly how they can perform and what they can do.
Elamine picked up by Shepard. And finally broken 11-0 run the Celtics had going after that 15-15 tie. Martisic, University of Maryland, wearing number 59. Joseph Forte. Gets back outside. Johnson gets it on the iron, but it won't drop. Kept alive, but finally it's Kwame Brown who comes up with the rebound.
Got to get these ACC guys to play together. Forte had Martisic open, but didn't want to give it to Maryland. Went the other way.
North Carolina, Maryland. No chance. Brown loses the handle. And we get a blocking foul going against Johnson.
Yeah, Bobby Simmons putting the ball on the floor, talking to the Wizards coaches. They feel that he may be the best player on the floor in the Summer League for Washington. Brian James said he does so many good things well. He's a 3-man, a small forward. Did a great job at DePaul when he played there. He can play inside and outside as well.
He does good things well as opposed to bad things well.
Exactly, John. Thanks for straightening that out.
With the steal to Elamine. Wow. Shepard.
Now, John,
where'd the whistle go?
I did think I saw a little contact on that play.
I mean, Elamine is looking up as if to say, well, did you swallow the pee in the whistle or something? Did you drop it? Somebody stepped on it?
Well, you know, John, the Puerto Rican Pro League is very physical, and Jose Carrion was the official at that side of the floor. And
come on, man.
My per diem doesn't cover that insurance.
Holy smokes. Got a big 7-footer knocking the year for. Brown trying to free himself from Bartosic. Rebound goes up off a couple of knees and out of bounds. Coming up at halftime, it'll be ESPN News. Gonzalez, we'll see if he can continue his home run slot as Barry Bonds has gone a little cold, maybe having a little company there. And Chris Webber, they say he met with an old friend of ours, Isaiah Thomas, and that Isaiah was in his home, has known him since junior high school, and Chris Webber is thinking about the possibility of becoming an Indiana Pacer.
Well, John, a lot of speculation as to what Chris Webber will do. I think he's going to end up back in Sacramento. That's a great situation for him. It's a solid team. I think right now he's politically doing what he has to do to be able to save face with his old friends Isaiah Thomas and also the folks back in Detroit where he played his college ball at University of Michigan.
Elmean trying to beat the clock and does, but out of control. Offensive foul. Well, it's the British Open. Can Tiger Woods start a new string? It just amazes me. They talk about this guy being in a slump. I think he could never win the rest of his life and not be in a slump. But he's playing for more majors, best golfers in the world, the British Open. Miss the action. You can catch the highlights nights at 7 Eastern time. Shepard finally gets one to drop. He launched a couple of shots early but couldn't get anything to fall.
Yeah, Jeff Shepard, a very good shooter, John, especially when he has time. If you give him a little bit of room, he'll knock it down.
A little miscommunication there.
There's Michael King. Interesting story. A pickup basketball buddy of one Michael Jordan. And Michael Jordan suggested to the Washington staff, saying, hey, you got to take a look at this guy. He can play some ball. Sure enough, they brought him in, and guess what? Made the team and playing here in the Summer League.
He's been playing over in Europe. Playing in those pickup games, as we mentioned, with Jordan. Illinois, Chicago. Pretty good hockey.
Yeah, pretty good basketball.
They've had some good basketball teams as well.
Done a few games out there.
Elamine pulls up at the free throw line and rattles it down.
That's a good shot for Solid. He can get into the lane, John. He's so quick. He's low to the ground. He's going to be able to break the defense down. That shot presents itself. You have to take it.
Dark in all kinds of trouble, loses it. Shepard comes up with the ball, finds it back. Good ball movement. Again, how about Joe Johnson's athletic ability? Khalid Elamine looking extremely quick out there.
Yeah, he is, John. Again, he's so low to the ground. He's able to back you up. He goes right at Jeff Shepard. Once he's on his heels, there's not much you can do about it. So important, the quickness of a small player, or any player really, to back up the defensive player, to attack them once they're on their heels, John. Really, the defensive player is at the offensive player's mercy.
Hey, nice night this far. 6 points on 3 of 5 shootings and a couple of rebounds for the little guy.
Viva USA in your Chevrolet. America is asking you to call.
Hi, I'm Joe Simon from Simon Chevrolet, and I'm happy to say the Florida vets have arrived. That's right, we are your Corvette headquarters for certified sales, service, parts, and body shop. Not to mention an incredible selection of high-line pre-owned vehicles.
Hey, Joey, do you think Dad will let me drive one of these?
Not for a couple of years, Mike, but you can drive your Corvette today only at Simon Chevrolet Buick, where you have another choice.
Each one of us has a different idea of what comfortable means. And at Off-Track Bedding, while we can't define comfort for you, we can help you choose the best mattress that suits your needs and feels the most comfortable to you. It might be a waterbed mattress, inner spring mattress, a latex or foam mattress, an air mattress, or any combination of them all. At Off-Track Bedding, you can try all types of beds and find the one that's right for you. And that defines convenience. Financing is available. See store for details. Off-Track Bedding, the lowest prices every night.
Tiger Woods returns to Great Britain on a quest to defend his crown. The world will be watching as a legend attempts to make history again. The British Open. Coverage begins live at 8 a.m. Thursday on ESPN.
2-minute drill is back.
Your 2-minute drill begins now.
1984. Which quarterback passed for an NFL record 5,084 yards? Dan Marino.
Have you got the answer? 2-minute drill, hosted by Kenny Mayne, Tuesday at 7 and 7:30 on ESPN.
It's NBA Summer Hoops on ESPN. The Washington Wizards down right now. Earlier today, Leo, you had a chance to check out Indiana Pacers and one Mr. Jonathan Bender.
Yeah, Jonathan Bender, fine performance. John showing his long range, and Jamison Brewer really stepping up, the rookie out of Auburn, knocking down a big three-point shot that pretty much clinched the game for the Indiana Pacers. Jonathan Bender had 15 points in the game. See 8 rebounds, and Jamison Brewer 10 points, 5 assists in his foreplay. John Brewer really impressing everybody here at the Summer League.
I wonder if Chris Webber was watching that. Thinking about, am I going to play with these guys? You never know. I'm going to get all the people in Sacramento mad at me.
I think he'll be back there.
Oh, nice little step in by Shepherd as Celtics got out of control, and then the finger roll to finish.
Yeah, good stop. Mid-stride, changing direction, getting right down the middle for Jeff Shepherd, really giving Washington a boost right now.
Washington needs a boost. Johnson.
So smooth, John. He is so strong around the basket that if he plays a player his size or smaller, he's going to take him down low and score. You put somebody bigger on him, Joe Johnson's going to break you down with the dribble. As we said, he can go left or right, and he has a perimeter shot.
Only freshman to ever lead Nolan Richardson's Arkansas Razorbacks in scoring.
They've had a few good ones.
Yeah, they've had some good players there. Elamine sends it back out to Edwards. He finds his way in, but Kwame Brown says, no, sir.
And here we get a look again. Joe Johnson just getting inside on Mike Smith and getting it up nice and high. Not much Smith is going to be able to do about that. And Kwame Brown going up saying, Mr. Edwards, you're going to have to come up with something a little bit better than that. You might want to kick it out to your teammates on the wing.
You know what was nice about that for a youngster? The patience. You could see him wait and wait. So many guys would be over anxious.
Characteristic of a great shot blocker. Wait till the offensive player leaves and commits, and go take the shot.
Moiso with that last miss. Aubrey Reese with it now. Clark takes it up strong. Right on a couple of Celtics.
That's a good move. A little strength with that left arm as well, making sure that Blunt's not going to get in there and challenge on a shot.
Johnson has looked very impressive tonight, and then we get another defensive 3-second call.
Get a look at Clark one more time, John. Going right inside and getting that left arm just inside the chest of Mark Blunt, not allowing him any chance to go up and block the shot. You want to take a shot blocker out, take his space away. He's excited about that.
When you said inside the chest, it almost could said inside the chest cavity.
I think that's pretty. Ask Mark Blunt. I think he'll agree with that.
That was a little pop right there.
Wake up in the morning, he'll be checking out the bruise.
Final couple of minutes in 18 ticks in the first half. Celtics ran out to a pretty large lead, breaking up a 15-15 game. Oh, Khalid Elamine. Wow.
Yeah, explosive. Going right to the bucket. Nice job of getting it up nice and high in the glass as well.
And look at the hustle to get back on defense. Keep the pivot foot. Brown drives, pulls up on a baseline, and drops it in.
This is a nice group of players on the floor, John. Showing a lot of different things offensively. Getting back on defense, trapping, playing aggressive.
A 12-point lead, their largest of the game. Joe Johnson picks up the foul. Reaching a little far away, but look at this move.
Notice that little hesitation, straightening up a little bit as if he might stop and take that jump shot. And as soon as the defense lifted, took it right to the bucket. And Kedrick Brown, smooth jump shot. That's a tough shot, John. That mid-range shot, that short corner jump shot. You're going on a full drive. You stop and take it. To go up straight and on balance, it's a lot tougher than he made it look.
Joe Johnson goes to the bench and gets the appropriate applause from the hometown Celtics fans.
Fans are really going to like the attitude as well as the talent these guys are bringing to Boston.
It's going to be nice competition. And a lot of fighting over who's going to be starting on the floor.
Well, you know, you can have two starters that have their jobs pretty much secure. Antoine Walker. What Jimmy O'Brien, the coach of the Celtics, told me was that if you put Antoine Walker at the 4 spot and basically let these guys all play around him, they're really going to have a lot of fun offensively.
Kwame Brown with it. Shot clock is down to 9 now. Brown looking to make things happen and does. Right? That is the skill of a 6'11" guy who can put it on the floor with the handle.
Yeah, and you love a guy not afraid to take that contact, John. He went in there. He knew he was going to get hit. Once he put the ball on the floor, Kwame Brown knew there was going to be some contact, a little hesitation, going right up and focusing in on the bucket. That's the hard part, John. You know you're going to get hit, but you want to still try to make the play, not just get to the free throw line, but get there shooting a three-point play.
And one of the other things impressive about Kwame Brown to me is when I've seen him interview. He's very poised, young man. And Mark Jones made that point with his mother a little earlier. Extremely poised.
Yeah, and I like the things he says, John. You talk about not just poised, but confidence. Telling Doug Collins, if you take them, you will not be sorry. You won't regret taking me. The key now is really establishing where he's going to play in the NBA, John. I don't think he's a true center. I think he's more of a power forward that can step out and play a perimeter game as well. It's going to be interesting to see how his game develops.
Mark, what do you think?
Guys, courtside, for a player's perspective, got Dion Glover and Raja Bell. Dion Glover had 25 points last night. What do you think of the young kid so far, Kwame Brown?
He's surprising me. You know, he can put it on the floor, and I didn't know that, but he can face the basket well. And he's knocking down jump shots, and he just made a great move taking it to the hole. So I think he's going to be a great player in this league.
Is he playing like a 19-year-old, you think?
Nah, I think he's playing a little more mature than a 19-year-old. But I think he's going to be a good player, though.
Roger Bell, meanwhile, you're with the Philadelphia 76ers. Your season finished up very well personally and from a team standpoint. Boy, before you joined the Sixers in the finals, you were playing rec league ball back in Miami. Larry Brown brings you in. You've taken the long route as opposed to Kwame Brown, who's taken the short route. How do you feel about someone who has instant success like that?
I think it's great. You know, I wouldn't wish my journey on anybody. If you can make it the easy way, I say go ahead and do that. So, you know, it's a pleasure for me to see someone as young as him out here handling himself the way he is tonight and making a good showing for himself.
Roger Bell, guys, signed with the Philadelphia 76ers, had a storybook season. Back to you guys.
It has been a storybook few weeks for Kwame Brown. Well, that's question. I'd like to go that first-round pick with number one overall.
You listen to Roger Bell talking, and really a lot of people don't understand the journey a lot of these guys really do take. Whether it's playing the CBA, the IBL, the USBL, playing overseas in Europe, in all kinds of different countries. It's amazing some of the things these guys do to play in the NBA to get that opportunity. Even to play here in the Summer League. They've already gone through mini camps. There's cuts that have been made. These guys are part of the finished product that's playing out here. It's a long, tedious process, and it takes a lot of perseverance to get there.
Elamine with the shot and knocking it down inside the arc. How about Lacrosse, Wisconsin? You know anybody who went through there trying to get back to the NBA?
As a matter of fact, I do, John. I know a coach who played there, too. Flip Saunders, now the head coach of the Minnesota Timberwolves.
Number one pick overall the last 10 years. And you go down that list, just about surefire. Michael Olowokandi. A lot of people still think that he can play himself into a pretty credible player.
He's also been in a difficult situation with some of the teams on the Clippers. Tough to develop there. Joe Smith, also a player, may be questionable as a number one, but when you look down the list, some pretty good players on that list.
Including the answer there in 96, coming out of Georgetown.
There had to be a Georgetown line in there. We cannot do a game without hearing John Saunders talk about Georgetown.
The Wizards have a lot of ground to make up if they hope to get to the playoffs. Now, of course, you take that 1963, and you probably throw it out the window just based on the improvement, that they can improve 5 or 6 games. If they put in Michael Jordan, and you look at the way the team ended up at the end of last year, add Michael Jordan to that mix and some changes with Kwame Brown and such, what do you think?
Well, it's still going to be a struggle. Obviously, you wonder what Charles Barkley might be doing along with Michael Jordan. And Courtney Alexander, Richard Hamilton, probably the two best players on this team without Michael Jordan being in the mix. Christian Laettner's back again. Popeye Jones re-signed. With Michael Jordan, you can have, obviously, I don't care what team you have, it's certainly going to change the entire floor. And anybody out there, John, that says Michael Jordan will not be one of the top 10 players in the game when he comes back, exactly, is absolutely crazy. You have no knowledge of this game if you're going to say that. He is the man and always will be. He will not come on the floor if he's not capable of doing that.
So that's the thing. It's the drive and the desire and the passion. Joseph Forte now looking to drive down. Brown, nice job defensively moving his feet. Shot clock at 6. Elamine release is no good. And Shepard, who's had a pretty good quarter here. Oh, my goodness. Kedrick Kedrick Brown just absolutely flew on that one. The lob for Forte, no good. Beard throws it up, and a foul is on the floor.
Kedrick Brown. One of the other things that Jimmy O'Brien said about Kedrick Brown, spectacular. Look at the way he gets up. Look where his head is in relation to the rim.
He's still going
my. It's good he ducked, John. We might not have a Kedrick Brown playing for the Celtics anymore.
I mean, that was like a launch at Cape Kennedy. He just, we're in the shadows of the Kennedy Library, the presidential library, and that was like Cape Kennedy. He just kept going up.
Again, Mark Jones and I were talking to Jimmy O'Brien, and when he said spectacular, his eyes just gleamed. He said, at times, absolutely spectacular. You just shake your head at some of the things he does.
Martyship, jump shot no good. Beard put it back up, and they counted. Joey Beard, who of course started his career at Duke and wound up at Boston University. He's a local product here, and drops it in to beat the buzzer. So the Celtics have a 39-30 lead at the end of the first half. Kwame Brown, the high schooler, #1 draft pick, with 9 points. Khalid El-Amin with 10 points. And right now, let's check in with Mark Jones.
Guys, Kwame Brown actually just got a few comments from his coach, Doug Collins, exhorting him on, trying to encourage him, and really actually trying to shield him a little bit from what's happening here. A bit of a media circus, and Doug Collins shielding his prized rookies so far. But Kwame Brown seemed a little bit encouraged as he walked off the floor and into the Washington Wizards locker room for the first half of play. All in all, Kwame Brown, guys, 9 points, 3 of 7 from the field, 3 for 3 from the line. He's in the league, at least part way.
That's the first half. Back in a minute.
This is a toe, this is a foot. That's the difference between Lamisil AT spray pump and Lotrimin AF. Lotrimin AF products are indicated to treat athlete's foot on the whole foot. This is only indicated to treat between the toes, so kill athlete's foot on the whole foot with Lotrimin AF.
Hey, there's big news at 7-Eleven. It's the new Big Bite Combo. Delicious Big Bite hot dog made by Oscar Mayer. With free chili and cheese. Whatever you want. Ice cold gulp. And a big grab of chips. All for just $1.99. It's a bigger, better summer.
Ooh. Nice shot. Buffalo wings, $1 each.
$1 a wing? Woo, how much for the whole buffalo?
You know something better for $1?
How about a 20-minute phone call?
Really?
Sure, dial 10-10-220 and all calls up to 20 minutes, only 99 cents. And just 7 cents a minute after 20.
10-10-220 is cheap. Hey, the wings are on me.
Hey, man, quit blocking the plate.
Sorry, dude, it's my job.
Hey,
dial 10-10-220.
You practice on me. Hey, man, you're big leaguing me now.
As you can see, the terms are good. The rate is low. There are no points.
But...
Yes?
Can't you come down a little on the interest?
It's a very good offer.
Okay, then.
Great.
Thanks anyway.
Next.
Want banks to compete over you? Come to LendingTree.com. Fill out one form and get up to 4 offers within hours. When banks compete, you win at LendingTree.com.
In the '61 Fall Classic, 9 records were broken. Records like most hits, most games played, and most RBIs. And that's not surprising since that series featured some of baseball's greatest players. What is surprising is that all 9 of those records were broken by just one player, Yogi Berra.
Hey, nothing beats an original. Coors Original, brewed with Rocky Mountain water.
Now that's original.
And a special hi hello to our viewers on ESPN watching the Wizards and Celtics Summer League action at halftime. This is John Seibel. I am Scott Reese. We'll get some basketball highlights to you eventually, but right now we're talking baseball.
More baseball. We're talking Barry Bonds, the Bay Area Bomber. He's been trotting a whole lot in this thing. He just got up in the 7th, and he just fouled out. He's 1 for 2 in this thing. Barry, you remember he pounded that 40 over the weekend. He's stuck on 40 home runs, but he does now have 94 walks on the season. Walked twice. He does have a double. That coming in the first inning. He's now 2 for 12 lifetime against, or 2 for 11 against Kenny Rogers. Kenny Rogers now out of the game. The Giants, they're leading this thing in the top of the 7th inning. Rich Aureli and Eric Davis, a pair of 2-run homers coming in the first inning. That put him out 4-zip. Andres Galarraga has a solo home run. That coming for the Rangers in the second, his 10th of the season. But this thing is all Giants, 8-2. Giants are trying to snap a funk of late. They've lost 8 of their last 11 road games.
D-backs, Mariners, Safeco Field, bottom 1. Ichiro came in 0 for his last 18 against Brian Anderson. Base knock ends the slump. He would score on a sac fly. Ichiro 2 for 4 with a stolen base in the game. Bottom 5, 2-0 M's. Dan Wilson to center field. Steve Finley going flat out. That's highlight film material, so we put it in the highlights. Top 6, Paul Abbott, Arubiel Durazo, and Durazo wins this battle. Base hit center field. Matt Williams around to score. The throw home will be cut off, and Mark Grace will be hung out to dry. Gracie's second base running blunder of the day. You're not going to win that foot race. Brett Boone tags him out. But the D-backs are on the board. Durazo's 33rd RBI of the year. Bottom 8, 4-1 M's. Boone, liftoff. Off of Eric Sable, 2-run shot. Boone's 23rd. He was 2 for 3 with 3 RBI. Mariners win 6-1. They get back to that comfortable margin of 41 games over 500. Abbott improves to 8-2 overall and 6-0 in his last 10 starts. And Brian Anderson should sue his teammates for non-support. In his last 3 outings, the D-backs have scored a total of 2 runs. We are chasing the mark, as in Mark McGwire, 1998. Bonds stuck on 40 home runs through 93 team games. McGwire would wait until game number 95 before going deep twice against the Dodgers for numbers 41 and 42. Luis Gonzalez running behind the pack. He's got 36 long balls through 92 team ball games.
And congratulations to the parents of all the Tampa Bay Devil Rays. Your children have clinched their first Road Series win of the year by winning the first 2 in Atlanta, but they're losing this thing, so it doesn't look good for a sweep. The Braves are up 4-0. A pair of home runs for the Braves. Chipper Jones, he's got a solo shot. Andrew Jones, his 21st of the year. That a 2-run shot, making it a 4-0 ball game. How about these pitchers? Greg Maddux going up against Tanyan Sturtz. Sturtz had a no-hitter through 2 innings. That thing's gone now. He's getting up 6 hits and 4 earned runs. Greg Maddux, he's 2-0 lifetime against the Rays and 6-1 at home this year, so these numbers should be no surprise. He's gone 6 2/3, no runs, 5 hits, great control, no walks and 7 strikeouts. We'll continue to track the progress of the pitchers and the game, too, because it's important. The Yanks and Phils. The Phillies get the first run of the game here in the bottom of the 6th inning thanks to a wild pitch by Mike Mussina. Marlon Anderson comes in from third base to give the Phils a 1-0 lead. The Phillies trying to win the series. 2 teams to split the first 2. Mike Mussina trying to forget his last outing where he went just 2 innings and gave up 10 hits and 8 earned runs. He's a lifetime mark of 4-0 against the Phils.
John Rocker was supposed to be the rock of the Cleveland bullpen. Instead, he's basically said to opposing hitters, "Here I am, rock me like a hurricane." Rocker is 1-4 in his last 5 appearances, and that has cost him his closer's job, at least for the time being. Indian skipper Charlie Manuel says he will go with Bob Wickman, who has 15 saves in 16 opportunities this season. The Tribe in action against the Astros, and they are up 5-0, bottom of the 3rd inning. Jim Thome, an RBI single and an RBI double. Marty Cordova has an RBI single. Moises Alou's 21-game hit streak is on the line. This is, in fact, the 60th anniversary of the end of Joe DiMaggio's legendary 56-game hit streak.
Here we go with the Red Sox and the Expos, a pair of 4-run innings here. The Red Sox get 4 in the top of the 6th. The Expos get 4 in the bottom of the 6th inning. They now lead 10-5 in this thing. Lee Stevens has hit a home run, a 2-run shot. That scored Vladdy Guerrero to make it a 10-5 ball game. Vladdy Guerrero also has a 2-run home run of his own self, his 24th of the season. Vladdy Guerrero tearing it up. He's got 6 home runs and 24 RBIs over his last 15 ball games. Expos 10-5, top 7.
Chris Webber is having second thoughts about returning to the Kings, about his agent, about life in general. Webber was widely expected to sign a 7-year deal with Sacramento tomorrow, but his newly rehired agent, Falasha Irwin, says C-Web is, quote, not sure what he wants to do. If Webber decides he does not want to return to the Kings, his options would be limited. C-Web has been talking to several other teams, including most recently the Pacers, but he wants to play for a winner, and Indiana would probably have to give up half its franchise to acquire Webber in a sign and trade with Sacramento. The Kings Knicks, Magic, and Pistons all expressing interest. NBA news and notes. It pays to be a backup center these days. The Atlanta Journal-Constitution is reporting Nazr Mohammed has signed a 5-year deal with the Hawks worth more than $28.5 million. The Wizards reached an agreement in principle with free agent center/forward Popeye Jones, according to a couple of sources. Michael Jordan declined comment.
Well, the Celtics are up 39-30. More Summer League hoops coming to all you on ESPN. For those at the ESPN News, Scott and I will be back. Stay with us.
They said they'd be friends forever. Now, after a year at college...
Where's my big guy?
Oh, no.
Hey!
Get
out, Dad!
They're about to learn.
Who wants me to kiss Amber?
Oh, yeah!
You guys first.
What? Oh! Some bonds are forever.
Ow! Yeah, I kind of super glued myself to myself.
American Pie 2. This film is not yet rated. At theaters August 10.
All right, come on, mister.
Focus. Stagger your feet. Pick it up. Pick it up. Nice.
Great outdoor games presented by Jeep Liberty and brought to you by Valvoline. Begin July 26th on ESPN.
It's not for sale. No.
Some things are just too good to let go of. That's why there's Valvoline Max Life, the first motor oil formulated for higher mileage engines. Max Life conditioned use seals to help prevent leaks and helps you hold on to your car for a long, long time.
Don't even think about it.
Valvoline Max Life. And for a simple way to keep your tires looking great, use Eagle One Wet Tire Shine.
Discover the amazing training secrets of Baseball World's dynamic practice organization video, featuring professional scout and instructor Tommy Mansky and his famous step-by-step building block approach to athletic training. These are the same techniques that have produced Baseball World's back-to-back-to-back AAU national championship teams. Parents, players, and coaches are amazed at the rapid improvement of students using these principles, enhancing arm strength, running speed, quickness, and agility. Dynamic practice organization works for all ages and levels of ability and makes a great gift to order now.
Welcome back to Boston and NBA Summer Hoops on ESPN. The Washington Wizards trailing the Celtics by 9, and a big reason why. Khalid El-Amin has been absolutely terrific. He's also been terrific to us at ESPN, allowing us to follow him around for the last week or so and get to know him, what it's like trying to fight your way back.
Least amount of mistakes by the time it's over is going to win the game. All right? Have some fun. Let's go play one. On 3 seconds.
Sort of an inside access look, Leo.
Again, making himself available, John. Again, that's not an easy thing to do, especially when you're trying to make the team.
We got 7 more to go or 6 more to go?
6 more to go.
1 down, 6 to go.
Just Monday.
He's down to 5.5 now. He's played a half. He's been absolutely terrific. 10 points, 8 of those in the second quarter, 5 of 8 from the field, a couple of rebounds at 5'10", maybe on his tiptoes, I'd say. Kwame Brown, the 19-year-old #1 draft pick out of high school, his coming out party, at least in summer hoops, 9 points, 2 rebounds, 3 of 7 from the field, the leading scorer for the Wizards.
Yeah, Kwame showing that nice touch here, defensive effort, going after the basketball. Solid performance in that first half.
Showing the ability to put the ball on the floor, too, face up and shoot. And he has done that extremely well. But his Wizards trail by 9. NBA Summer Hoops continues for Boston in a moment.
Let me tell you a little bit about Skip to My Lou. Skip to My Lou, his real name is Rafer Alston. Out of Jamaica, Queens. Soft as medicated cotton. Tender as a mother's prayer. Cold as a pimp's heart. He's all those things. And got a twin sister, too. What you would like to do with his twin sister, he does with the ball. He makes love to it. He caresses it. He swarms it inside of it. It's a symbiotic relationship, baby. That's what the ball is to Skip to My Lou.
You mean he make love to the ball and don't call the next day? That's what I do.
Wireless National Single Rate. Just one low rate, anytime, virtually anywhere. And now, on any national single rate plan starting at just $35 a month, get 2,000 weekend minutes a month with annual contract. Free, for life, with no roaming or long distance charges. Not now, not ever. All thanks to the largest nationwide wireless network, Verizon Wireless. Join in.
Barry Sanders set the record for most consecutive 1,000-yard rushing seasons. If you want to break Sanders' record, you might want to start this Sunday. With great skill and maybe a little luck, you'll be breaking that record in the year 2011.
Hey, nothing beats an original. Original Coors, brewed with Rocky Mountain water.
Original Coors. Rush out and get some.
Mr. Wallace. Want banks to compete for your home equity loan? At LendingTree.com, fill out one simple form and get up to 4 offers.
Oh, what a lovely time.
When banks compete, you win at LendingTree.com.
This is a toe, this is a foot. That's the difference between Lamisil AT spray pump and Lotrimin AF. Lotrimin AF products are indicated to treat athlete's foot on the whole foot. This is only indicated to treat between the toes, so kill athlete's foot on the whole foot with Lotrimin AF.
The Wizards and the Celtics, 9-point lead for Boston. Let's check in with Mark Jones, who's with someone who played extremely well the first half.
Well, a pretty productive first half of action for you. First of all, how's the quad?
It's all right. You know, I'm just stretching my hamstrings. Got a little bit tight during the halftime, but you know, I'm getting loose and I'll be ready for the second half.
What was the key to your success, especially in the second quarter?
I'm just reading the situations. You know, I'm great in the open court, so I just have to use my strengths to my advantage. And I got a lot of open court looks, and I got to continue just to work hard and play good defense.
All right, thanks for joining us, guys. Back to you.
Yeah, Mark, I'm wondering, is that what's called laying down on the job?
I like him saying, hey, I'm great in the open floor. Yep. That's my game. And Kala doing a real nice job of getting in there, taking the shots when they're there, looking for his teammates. A very impressive performance.
8 points in that second quarter as we look at the statistics from the first half. And Washington shooting it extremely poorly. If not for success at the line, they'd be down a lot bigger.
Yeah, both teams actually doing a pretty good job at the free throw line. But look at the turnovers, John. 13 turnovers for Washington. Boston had 9 steals. And they also have the edge on the glass, 18-13.
The turnovers, let me ask you, how much of that is just guys who are a little uptight, nervous, want to impress?
Well, the turnovers and the shooting percentages, John. You're going to see poor shots because guys aren't really comfortable. They're not sure if they should be taking certain shots. And that's where the turnovers come in as well, not knowing their teammates and understanding their tendencies.
Khalid El-Amin will start on the bench as he did in the first half. Lacio will run the ball. Johnson again showing the athletic ability. And then Blunt comes in, cleans up the glass, and drops it back.
Blunt very active on that play again, John. He sets the screen for Johnson, and as soon as he comes off, he doesn't stand and watch. He's not a spectator. He goes after the basketball when nobody pays attention to him.
Aubrey Reese gets it into the hands of Shepard. He finished the second half very strong.
Yeah, knocked down a couple of jump shots. Did a good job defensively.
4 on the shot clock. Kwame Brown recognizing, and he has hit 3 shots from that exact same location.
And now it's time for Blunt to recognize that as well and say, okay, Kwame, no more shots. I know you can make this jump shot. Show me what else you have in your arsenal.
Johnson sends it into the corner. Brown shot no good. Blunt with a strong rebound again. Finds Palacio. 3-pointer. Rattles halfway down and rattles right back out. We'll see hustle in these games. Little doubt about that.
John, here's that play I talked about. Sets a screen for Johnson. Nobody pays attention to him. He doesn't watch the play. He goes after the basketball. He's right there for the rebound. However, at the other end, you know that Brown has made a couple of these shots. Blunt has to get up, make him put the ball on the floor, do something different.
Shepard takes it to the glass. Ran out of ideas. Mark Blunt stares him down after he hits the deck. Hey, what were you thinking? 13 on the shot clock. Brown gets it. Goes to the free throw line again, this time off the back iron.
Now see, that time having to do something a little different. Not that he can't make that shot, but that's what you want to do as a defensive player. Don't let a player stay in his comfort zone.
Oh, that'll be a foul. on Kwame Brown. Boy, he just moved
Jerome Moiso out of that post position. You gotta like that. Look at the percentages here. Kwame Brown 4 of 9. The rest of the team just 7 of 22.
Yeah, that was a little over aggressive on the offensive end.
But you have to like a high schooler coming out here. So hey, get out of my way. You're not posting me up. Kind of like you do when I sit at the table and just throw me around, push me around.
Well, so what's that rule we had about people wearing just normal clothes?
Yeah, don't throw to anybody in the stands wearing regular clothes. Uniform with a number.
Apparently that has not gotten into the psyche of everyone tonight, but again, some of that nerves and some of it not knowing who you're playing with very well. Shepard gets it back, thinks about launching the jumper. Barry Smith pulls up, back iron and out. Blunt with the rebound. Head to Palacio. Kedrick Jones now comes over off the screen. And there we get that illegal defense again. There's 3-second defensive violation as someone got parked in the lane again. It's interesting because they're allowing the zone defense, which traditionally, if you watch a lot of college basketball, zone defense, there's somebody parked in that lane all the time, just standing there. So they're allowing a zone defense, but they're not allowing that part of it.
Right, and that's a big thing, John. When you look at college basketball, you can take a player that's basically a non-factor. They can completely get in the way and take somebody that is a strong player, a good player, a very effective player, and get in their way and take a lot of their game away. Where in the NBA, even though, as you said, it's still zone, you're not allowed to basically waste a player.
We get a little traveling violation on Moiso.
Now here's something you'd like to see. Mike Henderson explaining, when the officials explaining to Kwame Brown how you can play a man in the post, what you can do, denying how you play it. It's important, I think, when you have a good rapport, especially in a summer league environment. It creates a very friendly working atmosphere for both the players and the officials.
Sort of like you had in the Jersey Summer League?
No, that was Dick Bavetta's fault. Dick Bavetta threw me out of that game, John, and to this day, I don't know what I did.
Yeah. We've talked with Mr. Bavetta, who, of course, is one of the most talented and beloved officials in the NBA. And
John, I merely said I believe you made a mistake on that call.
Shot clock is at 4. Shepard to Brown. Gets the shot off, but rims out.
Now you see there's no offensive rebounding at all for Washington in this game, John. First half they only had 1 offensive rebound, which means they're taking shots that their teammates aren't aware of, quick shots, and players are retreating instead of attacking the basket.
Palacio, number 9, long range 3, and if we drop in the numbers every now and again, it's because you at home won't get a chance to see the names on the back of these jerseys because on a given night they're not sure who's going to play. Ooh. What do you think?
Look, that one looked clean, John. That one looked clean. Bobby Simmons picking up the foul. Jerome Moiso did a real nice job of running the floor, giving Milt Palacio an option to drop that ball back.
Don't forget to continue to watch the future stars of the NBA. Thursday, we have a doubleheader starting at 2 Eastern time. The 76ers and the Bucks. This on ESPN2. And then it's the all New York metropolitan area battle as the Knicks and the Nets meet up. What do you think about the Nets acquisition of Jason Kidd?
Well, John, certainly a different look for the Nets. You look at Stephon Marbury, a great assist man, but a great scorer. And a lot of times he felt that he had to shoot the ball much more than maybe his teammates wanted, maybe even he wanted to. But again, a lot of that's because of who he was playing with. I think Jason Kidd, less of a scorer, maybe a better defender, maybe a better rebounder than Stephon Marbury. It's going to be interesting how they play off each other with their new teammates.
Aubrey Reese, you see Kwame Brown say, don't bounce it to me, throw it up. No one else is going to go up and get that. And then Kedrick Brown tried the same thing at the other end, looking for Moiso, but they come up empty as well. Shepard. Kwame Brown. Puts it on the floor, up on the glass, too strong. And Jabari Smith trying to clean up the glass and take advantage of the miss. He gets fouled.
And see, John, that's the difference between settling for a jump shot or putting the ball on the floor, get the offensive rebound. There's good hustle by Joe Johnson.
You see Kwame say, throw it up, I can get it.
Speed is measured in the hundreds, metal by the ton. But it's something as human
as one move, right or wrong, one moment of fear or one burst of courage that always makes the difference between victory and everything else. That's drama. That's NASCAR. See the New England 300 from Loudon on TNT.
Join Chef Jeff Gerard every Wednesday evening at 6:30 for Culinary Arts. This week, Jeff shows off his talent with pan-seared scallops in a Parmesan basket with wilted frisee and a roasted garlic parsley cream sauce. And for dessert, a chocolate peanut butter truffle tart with rosemary coulis. He'll also show us how to make an architecturally designed specialty called a vegetable Napoleon, topped with a grilled rosemary and crusted salmon. A few more tricks of the trade await you every Wednesday at 6:30 on Culinary Arts.
Hey, sister, you must be my soul, sis, soul, sis. Hey, sis, you must be my soul, sis, soul, sis. Hey, sis, you must be my soul, sis.
6:31 to play in the period. Mark Jones back at the Clark Athletic Center on the campus of the University of Massachusetts Boston. I'm with Hall of Famer Alex English, who is the head coach of the NBDL's North Greenville.
North Charleston
Low Gators. First of all, explain what a low gator is to us.
Well, I guess it's a combination of two things. Charleston is in the low country of South Carolina, and we have a lot of gators in that area, so they combine the two names, low gators, and we're going to have a lot of fun with that.
Okay, we got the nickname thing out of the way. What is the typical profile of an NBDL player? What would you draw it up or him up to be?
Well, he's going to be, we're here looking at these players, and hopefully some of these players will be in our league, best league in the world other than the NBA. And so the typical, there is no typical. There'll be a player that's a great basketball player and got a lot of talent.
Who is your biggest coaching influence, and what kind of way would you characterize your coaching style?
Well, my college coach, Frank McGuire, was one of my biggest influences, but Doug Mote had a lot of influence on the way I played the game of basketball, and my style will be very similar to what I learned under Doug Mote.
So it looks like we can expect your team to score up in the 120s, 130s per game?
Well, I won't say we won't score that many, but we will be pushing the ball up the floor, and we'll be playing a lot of tough defense.
All right, thanks a lot for joining us, Alex. Alex English, guys, we should correct the wrong on air here, should have been one of the top 50 greats of all time, but now we know at least what a low gator is. John and Leo, a quiz a little bit later. Back to you.
I thought a low gator was a type of shoe myself, but
I have a pair of those.
Oh, Palacio with a terrific finish there. There's a look at the names of all the teams. As Mark pointed out before, primarily set up in the Southeast, in the Carolinas and Alabama and such, and Virginia. But it'll be an interesting league. They will aspire to be the best league other than the NBA, and they'll have a difficult time doing that at $30,000 salaries, I would think, because of what will be paid out in Europe and such. I mean, I would imagine that there'll be some players who rather take a chance and take some less dollars at a chance to get quicker into the NBA, because you won't be seen in Europe like you'll be seen in this league, I guess, is the potential.
Well, exactly, John. That's the big advantage, that it's a shorter season. You're accessible to the NBA. And somebody is so quick out there.
I don't think Kwame's going to spend any time in the developmental league.
Wow. Joe Johnson lost his shoe right there. Take a look at Kwame Brown.
Remember, these 6'11", folks.
And just completely caught Mark Wood standing still. That's a nice handle, John.
Extremely. You know, Michael Jordan, I have a feeling, is watching tonight, so we'll say hi, Mike. We miss you here. But I also know that Mike's probably got a big smile on his face right now.
And you know how much Michael's going to be able to help Kwame Brown. He's a hard worker. He's going to be receptive to that teaching, as we saw him talking to Mike Henderson, taking that in as well. Doug Collins. A lot of great influences in this young man's life.
Brown grabs a rebound as well. third rebound. Reese tries to fight his way right through the paint. Palacio gets in the way and loses the handle somewhat. Blunt has really done a nice job defensively, hasn't he?
Yeah, absolutely. You look at Kwame Brown, John. One of the things that the coaches talked about at his height, you have to put that ball on the floor, makes such a difference. And there's Kwame Brown again showing his abilities. Tyson Chandler now with the Chicago Bulls, and of course Eddie Curry, another very physical player with great size around the bucket. They call him Baby Shaq.
A lot of size, a lot of ability, but this is the guy out of all those high school players that Michael Jordan and the Wizards felt was the best of the bunch. He's been pretty impressive to them, mostly with his poise. Going to hold away from the ball.
And Mike King getting the call. Chris Clack fighting for position, try to get down the lane. King hanging on, not allowing him to get there. When you talk about the different calls, officiating, how it's going to be interpreted, play away from the ball is pretty much going to stay the same. The officials, you're not allowed to dislodge or impede the progress of the player.
You like the change in the hand check?
Yeah, absolutely, John. There were so many touch fouls that fans, again, watching the game, it just didn't make sense. Now that you really have to put the player off balance for it to be a foul. Again, it's more
like that.
Exactly. Before it was simply advantage and disadvantage. Now it's cause and effect. And also it benefited the defense a lot of times, John, because a touch foul, offensive play has to take the ball out of bounds instead of able to score on a good move.
Everyone knows where you want all of your baseball news. It's baseball tonight, 10 at midnight on ESPN. It's coming up next. We'll have exclusive in-progress highlights and more of baseball's news. Everything that's going on. I want to hear more about Fred McGriff, and we know about his decision not to go to the Chicago Cubs and have a chance to perhaps play in a World Series and most likely in the playoffs and such. It was an interesting decision because he made it not considering his own feelings. In other words, he would have liked to have been there, but put his family ahead of himself, which I thought was very refreshing in this day and age. Although I'm sure the Cubs fans don't think so.
Certainly not.
Shepard, whoa!
That's just an aggressive play. Mark Blunt looking over Jeff Shepard saying, hey, sorry, my fault. I just couldn't put the brakes on.
Blunt just absolutely bowled Shepard over. Shepard turns back, though, right into him.
He did not expect that.
Didn't know he was coming. And I'll see you later, Mr. Shepard. You may have 2 Final Four championships. So got nothing right here, right now. Kwame Brown again showing the quickness. And the foul goes against Washington.
And look like they're going to call that on Kwame Brown for pushing off with that off arm, John. Did a real nice job of attacking the basket. A little too hard on the glass. And John, looking at a player like Kwame Brown, you look at some of the players we've seen come into the NBA out of high school, I'd probably have to say the one comparison, and it's actually been one that's been said, is Kevin Garnett. Yeah, exactly. Because of that ability to put the ball on the floor and still be big and play around the basket.
Chris Clack, real nice job switching hands.
He was a tough competitor. Remember watching Chris Clack at many a game in Texas.
Bramlett takes it up, gets it on the iron, no good. Martisic up there for the rebound. Still belongs to Washington. This has been the most impressive player to me, is Khalid El-Amin tonight.
He definitely has. Looking for his teammates, looking for his own offense, and defensively, John, not getting hurt in the game. And again, that's where NBA scouts, NBA coaches are going to be watching to see exactly how he can handle the defensive end.
Boston has never trailed in this game, and this is their largest lead at 16. Washington shooting like that is a big reason why they are struggling. Michael King just missed just about everything. He plays Germany last year. That's what I said. The iron, when you put your jersey in the iron, you have to first test it out because the numbers are made of some sort of a rubbery stuff.
Like I said, all the moms at home know about that. They wash their kids' uniforms and the kids start yelling at them, Mom, look what you did to my jersey. Well, now you know how Khalid El-Amin feels. He was yelling at the trainer saying, hey, ruined my jersey, just like my mom did.
No doubt about who he has been on the floor tonight. Really, the Celtics, you can give them a lot of credit for how they played, but basically, they've out-hustled Washington thus far in this game. Still 3:03 to go, though, in quarter number 3.
Louisiana, Louisiana, sing Polly Doodle all day. Oh, a grasshopper sitting on a railroad track, sing Polly Doodle all day. Picking his teeth with a carpet tack, sing Polly Doodle all day. Betty Will, Betty Will, Betty Will, my fairy fay. Go to Louisiana, Louisiana, sing Polly Doodle all day.
Now, Sprite.com makes it easier to buy just about anything you want. Under every cap is a free Sprite or Rocket Cash. Online money you can use through Sprite.com. Drink Sprite, get Rocket Cash. Buy what you want.
Ooh.
Nice shot. Buffalo wings, $1 each.
$1 a wing? Woo, how much for the whole buffalo?
You know something better for $1?
How about a 20-minute phone call?
Really?
Sure, dial 10-10-220 and all calls up to 20 minutes, only 99 cents. And just 7 cents a minute after 20.
10-10-220 is cheap. Hey, the wings are on me.
Hey, man, quit blocking the plate. Sorry, dude, it's my job. Hey,
Dial 10-10-220.
you practice all man, you're big leaguing me now.
I should use Preparation H.
Cool it fast with Preparation H Cooling Gel. Cools on contact for fast relief. Preparation H Cooling Gel cools on contact.
That's my final offer. That's my final offer. That's my final offer.
Mr. Tyler?
Want banks to compete for your home equity loan? At LendingTree.com, fill out one simple form and get up to 4 offers.
Thank you, Mr. Taylor.
Tyler.
When banks compete, you win at LendingTree.com.
51-35 with 3:03 to play in the period. I'm joined by head coach of the Celtics, Jim O'Brien, the architect of a major resurrection towards the end of the season for your team, charged towards the playoffs, fell a little short. One of the players impressing tonight, though, Coach O'Brien, Khalid El-Amin. Your thoughts on him?
I think Khalid belongs in this league. We have a roster problem. We might not be able to fit a guy like Khalid because we have a real strong interest in signing Brian Stith, who would be our 15th guy. But Khalid belongs in this league. He's had an outstanding camp for us, and I think he's really showing up well this evening.
With the National Basketball Development League now in practice coming up this November, does that end the practice of kind of some of the misuse of the injured list? You don't have to. Teams sometimes have been known to keep a guy around town a little bit. Now he can go play and bring his game back and be ready to come up to a team like the Celtics?
Well, it all depends on the structure of their contract. We have 14 guys under contract. And you know, if you send them down to the developmental league, you don't own their rights. You lose their rights. So I think it's better from the standpoint of people that are not under contract, obviously, or people that can make a roster. That will give them a great chance to develop their skills in NBA type of competition, and that'll be very helpful to 2019 in the NBA.
Tonight it's El-Amin. Last night it was Joe Johnson impressing. Your thoughts on him out of Arkansas?
I think he looks as comfortable as any rookie that I've seen this week. He just seems to fit. He has a great basketball IQ, plays with a tremendous amount of composure. I think he's a guy that's going to get a lot of playing time for us very early in the season.
You called Kedrick Brown spectacular when we asked you about him. He's shown some of that ability in the last 2 games.
Kedrick is as good of an athlete as there is in the NBA. And he's a very good three-point shooter. Has some things to learn, as do most rookies, but he's going to be a guy that's going to be around this league and a spectacular player in this league, I feel.
Coach O'Brien, thanks a lot for joining us. Jim O'Brien, the son-in-law of our own Jack Ramsey at ESPN. I can't locate him. You got a number for him?
I'm not giving his number out. There's a reason that you can't locate him.
All right, guys, back to you.
A little give and go there. You know, Leo, Jim O'Brien makes a really good point about the developmental league that perhaps we pass by when we're talking about only $30,000. The difference is you go down to that league, you're not the property of one team waiting to be called up. You're the property of the entire league, and any team can take a shot at you.
Exactly, John. It's an opportunity for you to play. Again, it's a shortened season. Everybody's watching you, and you do get the opportunity to get called up and show what you can do if that opportunity presents itself. And these are guys that obviously want to be visible, and the NBA is going to be promoting that league, which again gives them more opportunities.
And like the WNBA, there will be only 11 players on the roster, so the playing time won't be as scarce as it would be as the 12th man in the NBA. King drives, showing a little bit of that ability.
And nice job there going to the bucket. We saw him hit a jump shot, this time drawing the defense and putting it on the floor. Now we know what Michael Jordan saw in him in some of those pickup games in Chicago.
I believe I just coined a new word, L-ability. I think I'm going to use that as if I did it on purpose. Clock now. Foot on the line. That's just the deuce. Vanderpool comes down with the rebound. And weaves his way back up.
Hey, where'd it go, Blue?
Vanderpool talked about out of St. Bonaventure, 22 games with the Wizards last year. Had 21 points in a game against Golden State, 7 assists twice. So obviously Washington saw something they liked in this guy. Allen Edwards into the game for the Celtics. On the floor. Ooh. Into a lot of traffic goes Michael King and draws a lot of contact as well, so he'll go to the free throw line. Mike Martisic is off the bench now. He'll come into the game for the Celtics in a moment.
Again, John, we're seeing Michael King do a good job of putting that ball on the floor. Good elevation, too. Once he starts going to the basket, he really explodes and gets up high to the rim.
Talked about King playing in Europe. He's played in Finland. He's played in Mexico.
Well, John, we talked about it earlier today that when you're playing here, you're not just exposing yourself to the NBA, to the developmental league. You're exposing yourself to teams from coaches and scouts from all over the world to have an opportunity to continue your career and play and get paid.
And I just want people to know that I am aware that Mexico's not Europe. Because they kind of put that in the same sentence. And for those at home might be thinking, what kind of geography was he learning up in Canada?
Well, John, I'm not going to talk about your academic background, but I know it's a little shaky.
Good screen.
Oh, should we mention to our viewers, our mostly American audience, that they are listening to 3 born, bred, and raised Canadians on this broadcast. And we don't have skates underneath either. Elamine with a terrific drive and using the left hand. 14 points for Khalid Elamine.
Great job of getting the puck off the board, huh, John?
Crispin swings it back outside. Final 17 seconds of the third quarter. Vanderpool with Elamine. Elamine backs off after instructions from the bench. The little shot rattles in and out. And the ball will still belong to Washington. I think they got their signs mixed up a little bit. A.J. Bryant comes over to say he missed an assignment. But they'll have 5+ seconds. One goes to the bench. Martisic comes back in. Crispin trying to fight his way around the screen. Finally does. Shot won't go down. Forte grabs it. Tosses it towards the hoop.
John, you know, we've been talking a lot about strengths and weaknesses of free agents, and you know what? There's a free agent out there, 5-time MVP, good go-to guy down the stretch. Now, some of the skills you might have to work on, maybe fitness, playing against some youthful guys, and don't know who that guy might be, John, but I know there's one out there, and I think this guy right here, Doug Collins, just might have a clue.
I'll give you a hint.
Who it is.
Right now, it's his boss.
Get out of here.
Rookies.
Oh my.
X Games presented by Pontiac Aztec begins August 18th on ABC.
Meet Aztec with new VersaTrack all-wheel drive. Meet Sam and Kate. They're about to
do something dirty.
We're not lost. Told you.
Next day.
Go camping.
What's your move?
Keep your fingers off my pieces.
I'm not cheating. That's not right.
Meet Aztec.
Now get $1,000 cash back on any 2001 Aztec or see your local Pontiac dealer for a great lease or financing offer.
Hurl things at your enemies. Hurl your enemies at your enemies. Super Mario Advance. Only for Game Boy Advance. 4 players, 1 game pack. Rated E.
This is a toe, this is a foot. That's the difference between Lamisil AT spray pump and Lotrimin AF. Lotrimin AF products are indicated to treat athlete's foot on the whole foot. This is only indicated to treat between the toes, so kill athlete's foot on the whole foot with Lotrimin AF.
Start of the fourth quarter, Celtics with a 10-point lead. It had gotten up as high as 16 before the Wizards put on a run, but it's time now for our and one Mad Skills. That's skills with a Z, Leo.
And when you say mad skills, John, you're not talking about the average game. You're talking about a guy that can extend and get to the bucket, take it to the hole, and only be 19 years old, right out of high school, dealing and wheeling on grown men.
Kwame Brown, 13 points, just 5 of 12 from the field, but 5 rebounds as well. When we say skills, I say with a Z, or as we might say in Canada, a Z.
What is a Z anyway, John? I never figured that out.
It's the last letter of the alphabet. That's all I know. Crispin takes the ball. King now picks up the dribble before finding Crispin. Clark finally drops it back again. The Celtics pressuring the basketball. And Alan Edwards out on Crispin.
Hey, John, all game long, the Celtics have done a pretty good job of extending their defense, whether it be three-quarter court, full court, even in the half court. When they want to get out and push and get up on you, again, this is a group that has so many different looks that can throw at you. They really challenge the offense to execute well.
Some of that left over from Mr. Pitino?
Not really. This is just a lot more athleticism being on the floor. As I mentioned earlier, one of the things that Jim O'Brien did was really simplify the defense. A lot of the trapping was so intricate and so complicated under Rick Pitino that a lot of players, frankly, didn't grasp it. And it wasn't really suited to all the players that they had playing on the Celtics.
Vanderpool actually reached in nicely and stripped Johnson. He looked like he was going to have an easy dunk. Bramlett spins around Martisic. Gets it on the back iron.
That's a nice move. Getting there in traffic, going up with that left hand. Good extension.
Alan Edwards. Part of 3 brothers that played college ball. Of course, Doug was an outstanding player at Florida State, playing with Bobby Sura and Sam Cassell. And Steven played at Miami.
I remember watching a lot of games with Steven play. That's a nice move. A little floater in the lane.
Well, I'll tell you what. Jim O'Brien said he's not sure they had a place for Khalid Alameen in Boston. Based on what we're seeing here today, somebody will find a way to get him into camp. Joseph Forte with the 5th.
Again, that defense of the Celtics providing a lot of problems here for the Washington Wizards. Just a place right there, an example. Michael King, you do not want to pick up the ball just over the half-court line. Alameen and Joseph Forte doing a great job on the trap.
Johnson from deep as well, showing 3-point range in addition to that terrific athletic ability. Jim O'Brien has a little smile on his face.
Well, he has to like the intensity on the floor, John, and some of the decision-making and the skills that were exhibited so far in this game. Jim O'Brien, a witness as this play occurs right in front of him. Good trap, mistake by Michael King. You don't want to pick up the ball just after you cross half court, but Joseph Forte and Khalid Alameen able to make it happen.
And they've stretched the lead back to 15. Jimmy O'Brien likes what he's seeing.
Hank Aaron entered the '74 season 1 home run shy of the all-time record. Anxious fans around the country couldn't wait for him to hit his record-tying home run. And they didn't have to wait very long. He did it on opening day, on his very first swing.
Hey, nothing beats an original. Coors Original, brewed with Rocky Mountain water.
How's that for an opener?
On July 18, new island.
Dr. Graham, you should look at this.
New species. New danger. Jurassic Park 3, rated PG-13.
This is a toe, this is a foot. That's the difference between Lamisil AT spray pump and Lotrimin AF. Lotrimin AF products are indicated to treat athlete's foot on the whole foot. This is only indicated to treat between the toes, so kill athlete's foot on the whole foot with Lotrimin AF.
Your terms just aren't right.
Sorry.
I'm so sorry.
Mr. Beacon, your rates are a little high.
That's not good. What's the word I'm thinking of?
I think it's no.
Mm-hmm. No.
Want banks to compete over you? Come to lendingtree.com. Fill out one form and get up to 4 offers within hours.
Oh, what a lovely time.
When banks compete, you win at lendingtree.com.
Boston has stretched the lead back out to 15 and talk a little baseball. You want a good time to start watching the St. Louis Cardinals? How about right now? Mark McGwire, injured most of the year, seems to have his home run stroke back. Only beating Jeff Bagwell in the Astros. Some of you will see Sammy Sosa in the Cubs. Pittsburgh to take on Brian Giles and the Pirates in regional action on ESPN2, 7 Eastern. Ken Griffey Jr. and the Reds as they watch Chipper Jones and the Braves. Check local listings for the game in your area. For more information, log on to ESPN.com.
John, we saw that turnover prior to our commercial with Michael King, and when you look at the stats, 20 turnovers for the Washington Wizards in this game, and the Celtics have scored 25 points off of those turnovers. And there's still 7 minutes to go in this game.
There's another.
There's another one. Yeah, Wizards definitely do not look organized right now in terms of handling the pressure. And in defense of Washington, you look at the players on the floor for Boston. You have players that have been around, players with a little bit more experience throughout the course of the game, able to help Celtics on the floor.
Joe Forte trying to fight himself free of Jeff Shepard. Johnson.
John, also, when you have the players with the experience on the floor for the Celtics, the new players that have come in have fit in almost effortlessly in their adjustment to the NBA. You look at what Joe Johnson's done and Kedrick Brown, along with Joseph Forte. These guys look like they've been in this league a while, at least in terms of their play here at the Summer League.
Wizards have only 5 assists in the game to go with 21 turnovers.
It's not a good number.
Without doing the math, I'd say that's not a good ratio.
Might want to work on that one.
It's about 4 to 1. I guess I would be. Forte with it now. Shepard steps out to meet him. Puts it on the floor, into the paint, pulls up at the free throw line. Can't get the roll. Oh, no. That's when it's not going away. Kwame Brown knocked it back in for the Celtics.
They tried to pull it away. Ball got caught in the rim and right down into the net.
The largest lead of the game. Moiso picks up a foul as A.J. Bramlett is going to try and make a strong move.
Almost got bailed out on that, John. He really looked like he wouldn't have a chance to make that shot. Moiso has got some pretty good athleticism, able to get up quickly and get a piece of the ball.
So Bramlett, of course, you'll recall, is a member of Lute Olson's Arizona Wildcat squad. This is the first. Let's check in with Mark.
Guys, I have searched high, low. I have searched in the stands. I have searched underneath the stands, and it's official. I'm announcing it. Michael Jordan is not, I repeat, not in the building tonight. But the truth of the matter is a lot of speculation surrounding his imminent return. Sources close to Jordan say that during the month of August, he will be working out with a group of friends. He's going to bring in maybe 5 or 6, half a dozen very top-flight NBA players, i.e. Gary Payton, friends of his, work out, find out exactly how close he is, what level that he is playing at, and then potentially announce his comeback sometime around September. But if he does come back now, there are some legalities to take care of, okay? The league says that he must put his share, his portion of ownership into a trust or put it in some kind of escrow while he is playing. So that's one of the little parts of paperwork that will have to be done if Michael Jordan does return. But guys, I've checked all the disguises, guys incognito, everything. He's not here tonight. Back to you.
Well, John, you know what's interesting with that is you remember when Magic Johnson made his comebacks. There was no trust, there was no escrow, there was divesting.
Exactly.
Getting rid of your piece of the team, which you got back when you retired again. So it's interesting because under these circumstances, Michael Jordan could come back and when he retires for the 3rd time, have his share worth even more than it is right now.
And Michael Jordan has always been considered a shrewd businessman, John. So a lot more maybe than just coming back and playing the game.
Well, for the fans, all they care about is he's on the floor.
Hey, all I care about is I want to see him play. I love watching Michael Jordan play. And again, it'd be a thrill for me and anybody else that loves the game. So keeping my fingers crossed as a basketball fan to see him back again.
We had talked about splitting season tickets to the Wizards game when we heard months ago that this was a possibility, and we didn't do it.
Yeah, we made a mistake there, John. We, too, could have been shrewd businessmen. Instead, we're going to be sharing our per diem as we normally do.
Sneaking into the building. 14 seconds. Kedrick Brown will put it into play. Palacio comes to the ball. John Vanderpool. Oh, nice little reach in. Quick hands to strip the ball. And the push at the other end of the floor, and a terrific finish by Simmons.
John Vanderpool's done a nice job. He's got 5 steals in this game. Quietly doing an excellent job defensively.
And Palacio almost pulled off a little highlight reel action right there. Simmons swings it to Kwame Brown. College range three-pointer that doesn't drop. Palacio with another quick push. The lob goes up. And Kedrick Brown is there to finish.
Kedrick Brown was hoping that ball was going to be a little closer to the bucket. Palacio left it a little bit far, but